Aberdares National Park is one of Kenya's prime protected areas, and it cuts across the expanse of a range on the eastern edge of the Rift Valley, which stretch from Nairobi to the east to Nyahururu in the west, cutting through different administrative areas, so bits of it touching Murang'a, Nyeri, and as you approach Nyahururu on the back side, and Kiambu in between there, there's quite some excellent hiking trails. As you begin your ascent, the soil is red volcanic in origin, super fertile, and there's loads of forest patches controlled by Kenya Forest Services, KFS, and Kenya Wildlife Services. And the park sometimes is referred to as majestic peaks, moorlands, and falls, just emphasizing the different interesting things that you can find. So people who are preparing to go to Mount Kenya normally do high altitude training just before you climb Mount Kenya, because Oldonyo Satima is around 4,002 meters above sea level. Mount Kinangop is around 3,900 meters on a different side of the forest. So it's a very important space for wildlife like African elephants, Cape buffaloes, black rhinos, spotted hyena, civets, wildcats, serval cats, golden cats, leopard. And it's one of the places that hikers really love in Kenya. Well, hardcore hikers, because the hiking in Aberdares is tough. So I had gone up different routes within the Aberdares, but largely in the company of hikers. And it's quite beautiful. I mean, what hikers have in common with bird watchers is they're completely outdoor. The only complaint that I have with general hikers is sometimes they can be loud. So some can carry radios and things and loud music. And it kind of just beats the purpose. So the idea was to wake up early in the morning, pick my friend Timo from Thika Road. Thika Road is just in the outskirts of Nairobi. Then drive the 200 or so kilometers past Nyeri, past Mwega, towards Nyahururu, and then get into the park. And that was pretty uneventful. And at the park, sort out the different payments, and then leisurely drive up towards the camping ground. So obviously, on the way, interesting birds, moorland chats from all the way down. So one of the birds that I miss in my list is a striped flufftail, and the other is moorland francolin. The striped flufftail is normally found in wet dense grasslands, sometimes marshes, near streams or wetlands. And some of the older records in Kenya have been in slightly higher elevations. So the Aberdares, so anywhere around 3,000 to 3,700 meters above sea level. So somewhere in there, we think the the striped flufftails are there, and we should be able to see them. If we don't see them, then probably hear them, because there's a much higher chance of hearing them than seeing them. They're very small, they're very shy, and they, walk within those marshes looking for insects and invertebrates and seeds within that kind of dense vegetation. The next morning, the Jackson's Francolin just outside of our tents, and we really tried to listen and see if we could get the flufftails, but unfortunately, they weren't calling, and that was pretty unfortunate. A couple of friends coming from Nairobi, in somewhere closer to 9-10 o'clock, so we decided to hike up towards Dragon's Teeth. Quite a lot of marshy, suitable habitat available there, and who knows, we could bump into the rare francolins too, the Mua francolins. Pretty good hike, and everywhere it was full of Aberdares cisticolas. Aberdares cisticola is an endemic species to Kenya, and quite nice to see such a healthy population of them, just as you approach Dragon's Teeth. And it's one of the most beautiful hiking spots, I think, in the country. Now, as we were going back down to catch up with our friends, we met them maybe halfway down the descent, and they had seen the flufftails, and we hadn't. So it basically took them 10 minutes from their getting into the right area to see them. We'd spent the whole night there, and we missed them. So we went back and really tried bushwhacking. We formed a line to try and flash the birds so that we could have a glimpse of them. Just once we had a call that sounded very vaguely like it, but nothing strong and convincing enough that it was a flufftail. So pretty sad that we spent the whole night there. Our friends who didn't spend the night didn't go through the cold. Literally took 10 minutes. Saw a flufftail literally at the car park. And 2 days later, I still haven't seen the flufftail. So, not too bad. It's a beautiful place. It means I've got another hike planned for So as we were walking down, one of the more memorable things is we bumped onto a chameleon. And the fact that it was around 3,700 meters high already in elevation really narrowed the options in terms of which chameleon it is. It turns up it was a Aberdares dwarf chameleon. And that's a really special record for that chameleon. So we didn't get the flufftail, but we bumped into the rare chameleon.
Logi puse mana weyo ni urit na yawa gichalo na